Okay, how's it going, guys? New drone in the house. So, I've not had this very long, so this is not a proper review, but I just thought I'd share with you a few of my first experiences with the latest and greatest Phantom 4 Advanced Plus. So it's got the top camera, it's the latest version that DJI put out. The Plus means that it comes with the built-in screen. And so, yeah, it's a big step up for me. I'm coming from the Phantom 2 with a GoPro strapped to it. Excuse my squeaky chair, by the way, but never mind. So yeah, it's a big step up for me, but I have been flying, Phantom 2, since Phantom 2 came out, so a long time. So this is a very overdue update. I wanted to share with you my first thoughts. I am going to be doing some serious, very nerdy looks at all the profiles and the sharpness levels and all the image quality. I'm going to be, comparing it to GH5, GH4, Sony's different lenses, all that kind of thing. It's not a DSLR, it's not a mirrorless camera in the sky. It's still got a smaller sensor, but it's still twice the size. The sensor is twice the size as the standard camera in the standard Phantom. So and it's got aperture control, full manual control, and it's got raw photography, photo stills rather. So it's a big step up, but we're still not expecting it to be insane camera quality, but it's going to be a lot better than the standard Phantom. So anyway, I will be going into that later, but I've basically flown it 4 times on 2 battery charges. So this is my first impressions, basically. So I'll try to cover things really quickly, because I know I tend to waffle. It's quite difficult to rein myself in. But in terms of build quality and the feel of it, it's all really solid, really nice. I'm a picky bastard, and this is top shelf quality. In terms of how it feels and the buttons and all that kind of stuff and the look of it and the weight of it. And this thing's brilliant. It's built like a brick shit house. It's all been really well thought out, and it feels just right. Everything feels just right. Okay, so let's get into my first experiences. Remember, this is my first experiences, so please, if I'm saying something wrong or doing something wrong, please correct me in the comments, because it's a big step up from the Phantom 2. It's a bit of a learning curve, Okay, so out of those first 4 flights on 2 batteries, the DJI Go app thing, which is the built-in software in this. Remember, I'm not running through a phone, so you can't blame any third-party equipment. This is attached to the controller. It's a DJI screen, great screen by the way. It's crashed twice mid-flight, black screen. Still had control over the drone, but it was out over the water, a fair distance away. I panicked. I shat myself. I got it in. I had to restart the controller, and then obviously lost complete control of the drone while it was in the air over the water. This is running the latest firmware. Everything's updated to the latest as of today. Look at the date when this video was posted. So that's a massive disappointment, and my confidence, I've been flying Phantoms for a long time, and yes, the Phantom 2 is, it seems like old-fashioned compared to this modern bit of tech, but it was always freaking reliable. It never went wrong. Yes, I didn't have control over the GoPro. I had very limited camera control. I was basically just doing my settings, pressing record, and then flying it. This is a big step up from that. But it was always freaking reliable. So the fact that I've flown it 4 times and had a massive panic twice is really freaking disappointing, I have to be honest with you. Don't get me wrong, the drone was still under my control while the controller was turned on. I had to turn the controller on and off to get it back, to get the visuals, the screen working again. But that's really freaking scary. So anyone who knows a bit more about this kind of thing, maybe it is the latest firmware, maybe there's some settings I haven't really monkeyed with that many settings yet, apart from the camera control settings, but maybe there's something I should be knowing or doing that I'm not, so please enlighten me if that's the case. The other big criticism I have is the touch screen on this. The screen's brilliant, it's really bright, you can see it in daylight. Everything looks snazzy in terms of, you know, you can find things in the menus, stuff like that, just about. But the touchscreen, the responsiveness of the touchscreen is middling at best, but then sometimes mid-flight, especially when you're recording, and especially when the drone's got a little bit of distance to you. I'm not sure exactly what the weak point is, but the response time is so freaking slow, you feel like it's frozen, and you're trying to like, you know, change your aperture or do something like that, and it's like, has it done it? Am I waiting? And it's really upsetting that such a great user interface, it looks great, and you know, you've got access to all the things you want to in terms of shutter speed, all the rest of it, and it sort of is, the response time, the lag on it is diabolical. And you know, I'm flying in Cornwall by the coast here, when I'm not flying like in a city with shitloads of metal structures around, or any kind of radio, you know, anything that should be getting in the way of the signal. I'm not flying at great distance. This is only my second battery, you know, I'm keeping it pretty close. So that is a problem. You do have a lot of the control over the shutter and all the rest of it just through this scroll wheel here, tapping it in and scrolling, which is much more responsive than the touchscreen. But there's a shitload of options and menus, which, you know, it's a touchscreen. You're going to want to use it. So, you know, so far I've been feeling like I need to set all my settings up correctly on the ground, and then get it in the air, and then just tweak the settings a tiny amount. Otherwise, the touchscreen lag is so bad, I feel like it's just freezing. So it is possible it is just the latest firmware which is contributing to both of these major problems. So that's my two big negatives. And I'm not going to get into the video quality. I will be getting into that, but not in this video because it's too early days. But later on, I'm going to be comparing it to the GH4, the GH5, Sony's. I'm going to be comparing it to mirrorless, you know, decent cameras with decent lenses. Unfair fight, obviously, but I like to know what level it's at. I mean, I've done a few very quick tests, just filming in low light, high ISO, and you know, matching the settings to my GH4, which is what this is on at the moment. And at my current analysis, which is very quick and may change later on, is that it's very similar to the GH4 in terms of noise, and it's not quite as crispy sharp as the GH4. It's, you know, sharpness wise, they're probably quite similar, but I'm finding that this has more problems with moire and jaggies, you know, that steppy kind of line thing, than the GH4. The GH4 is very not, but it's very not susceptible to moire and pattern problems and strobing and all that kind of stuff. It has a lovely, because it's pixel for pixel. Anyway, I'll get into that later. But yeah, that was my first sort of you know, reactions. It flies brilliant. The quality seems brilliant. I'm expecting the image quality to be brilliant, but I'll do an analysis of that a bit later. I just wanted to give you my first reaction. So really mixed. I'm still really excited about it, and I'm sure we're gonna fix this problem. But two major crashes mid-flight is fucking terrifying. And you know, you spend a lot of money on a drone. I tend to fly over the water a lot, so you know, if it's going to go wrong, it's going to go really wrong, and it's just going to sink and it's just gone. But you know, that hasn't happened, and let's touch wood, it never happens. Okay guys, peace out. I'm going to leave it there. But yeah, please enlighten me if you have information that you think would be useful to me. I'm going to be obviously doing some research myself now and figuring out what the hell's going on with these crashes. But I just wanted to give my first visceral reaction to my first experiences with this hopefully wonderful drone. Okay guys, peace out. Okay, here we go. First flight. Okay, here we go. That's good to go. HD cine-like. Let's go for 4K 25.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
And we just got -1, -2, -1. H.264. Cloudy white balance. How do I get into the focus again? Shutter speed 2. Okay. So that might be good with that ND on there. Okay, that was absolutely terrifying. I've got it back in one piece, but that's my first proper flight, and I got it out over the ocean. I was getting a couple of shots, and then a big warning flashed up on the screen, said DJI app or whatever the fuck it is has stopped. The screen went black, and I couldn't see the drone, and I had no control, and I didn't know what the hell to do. So I restarted the controller. Took about maybe 5 seconds, the longest 5 seconds in my life, but I got it back anyway. Thank God for that.
We will love you.